like to take your statement, please. I need to know the facts. You hit 6 people walking home, now they're lying on their backs. The truth is just one small thing that your story lacks. Did you have the green light? Were you in the right? I'd like to take your statement, please. I need to know the facts. Jack. I'd like to take your statement, please. The truth is...
Well, welcome back, everybody. All right. Well, today we're here at... where are we? Why am I looking back? That's a green screen. My whole crew is going, Carl, what are you looking at? It's green screen. We're here at the Coliseum, right? I told you we're going to try to travel around the world for these programs here. So anyway, glad to have you back. Today we're going to be talking about the 3 critical factors of negotiation. We're going to start with 1 for sure. Before we do that, we had some business to take care of. And our business is the trivia from last week, Gaining Cooperation book. The question had to do with statues, and the question was, where is the tallest statue of Jesus Christ? Where is it found? And the answer actually is Sweeples in Poland. So I got several people sending me emails saying it's Rio de Janeiro. It was a good guess, but not quite. As you can see, the one in Poland's a little higher. So here are our winners. Congratulations to all 3 of you. You will be getting a Gaining Cooperation book delivered in the mail to you. So just so you know. So congratulations. And by the way, I didn't mention this before, but once you win one of these books in these series, you're not eligible. You can still send me an email, but we're going to try to spread the wealth around a little bit. So you're not eligible to win a book every single week. I'm sorry about that. Somebody had asked me about that. Okay, let's get into it. When I met with, I told you, over the course of maybe a year and a half or 2, 30 to 35 truly great claims negotiators, we did talk about some of the factors. And this kind of falls into a lot of negotiation books that you might read, kind of have similar to these same things. And we're going to call them the 3 factors of great claims negotiations. All right, and I'll introduce them one at a time in this video series here. The first one I'm going to start with is going to be knowledge. To be a great claims negotiator, you got to know what you're talking about. Now, there are people who would say, well, no, you could fake it if you're really good. Well, yeah, not in claims. I wouldn't recommend that. You know, claims, we're a customer service business. You know, we want to let the other person know we know what we're talking about, and it's our job to make sure that we fairly evaluate a claim. And to do that, you got to know what you're talking about. Now, when I monitor phone calls, lots of times claims people, they have the general idea what the claim is about. They know how much the medical bills are, but they haven't really read the medical reports. They know that there was $2,800 for this operation, but they don't really understand what that particular operation was about in this medical stack. So the very best negotiators I talked to said you really got to know your stuff. If you're negotiating a construction defect, did you read the whole, report? Did you read the whole reconstruction report, the accident reconstruction report? Did you just look at the highlights, or did you really read it? Okay, even if it's an auto, total loss auto, did you read through the whole fair market evaluation report? One of the reasons they say you really want to know what you're talking about is because you want to let the other person know that you know what you're talking about. So to bring up facts about an operation, to bring up facts about their injury, to bring up facts about their recovery time, maybe your workers' comp and you're going to be talking about rehab time or something like that, to let them know that you know that gives them confidence that you know what you're talking about and is less likely that they're going to try to fool you. If I'm negotiating a total loss car, I'm going to let them know not just the mileage, but the equipment and what equipment it was. Not just the prior damage, that there is prior damage, but what was that prior damage? And how much did we lower the value of the car because of that damage? These things are important because you want to let the other person know that you've been thorough. And although it's possible to fake it, the very best negotiators don't. They read those whole reports. They get that information. And then they bring up those little nuggets while they're negotiating. They'll bring up maybe small factors that even the person they're negotiating with didn't know about their own claim. And the funny thing about it is that's especially powerful with attorneys. For those of us who negotiate with attorneys, we know that they don't know their claim as much as we know the claim. They don't know it that well. So they probably haven't done those things. So it can definitely give you an advantage when you're negotiating to know what you're talking about and make sure that you've got your facts lined up. Not just the general facts, but really dig into it. And by the way, there's a good chance when you do that, you might find out that there's something that you missed. Maybe that rhinoplasty doesn't have anything to do with this ankle injury. Maybe that is prior damage, or wear and tear, because you've read through it thoroughly and you really be able to pick things out. Maybe there really is an exclusion in this property claim for resident relative because you actually took the time to listen through the recorded statement or something along those lines. So knowledge is very important. We want to know what we're talking about. And in claims, I would have to give us close to an A for that. When I monitor phone calls, it's rare a claims person doesn't know anything about a claim. They do know. They may not know to the extent I'm talking about, but we do a pretty good job. So I'm going to have to start off with an A. The other two I'm going to be talking about, factor 2 and 3 in the subsequent programs, I'm not going to give us an A. So knowledge is definitely our strong point. We know what we're talking about in claims. We have the facts on our side. What we don't have on our side is kind of the other two I'm going to be talking about next time, which is, okay, we have the facts, but how do we convince people of those facts? How are we persuasive? What's going to work to make people change their minds? And we're very comfortable with the facts, but we're not comfortable with all of the interpersonal skills that we really need to be great communicators. So we'll just start with this. Knowledge is going to be our first one. I'll hit the other two in the ones coming up, in the clips coming up. But I really want to make that point that knowledge is what we have to start with. We have to start with knowing exactly what we're talking about. And if we can't figure it out, find out. If there's something in a report you don't understand, look it up or contact somebody. Really know your claim. All right? Okay, I'll get off my soapbox now. All right, well, as always, give me a call, my phone number, my email. As always, I'll answer any questions you might have. I'll go over any information you like, and I'll even role play with you if you'd like to do some practicing. All right, this week's trivia. The first 3 people that get the answer right will get Attitude, Ability, and the 80-20 Rule, a book I wrote pretty much about the fact that people will do what they think their job is. And for us in the claims business, our job is to provide great customer service and doing the right thing and paying people what they're entitled to. So that's what that book is about. All right, our category. This episode is Talking in Code. So the falling green characters at the beginning of all the Matrix films have become perhaps the most recognizable visual from the film. Here's your question. Where do those characters come from? The first Chinese IBM user's manual, Mongolian burial instructions. I hope I got that right. Did I pronounce that right? Should I do it again? Mongolian burial instructions. That's the best I'm going to do with that one. Or Japanese sushi recipes. Those are your 3 options. The first 3 people that send me an email with the right answer, you're going to get that book. Okay? All right. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I look forward to talking to you next time about the second factor in great negotiations for claims people. Take care, everybody. All right. Well, if you like these videos, please hit the like button. Also, please subscribe. And if you would like to be notified when we do put up a new video, please choose the All button under Notifications.
Welcome to our fun claims unit. We make new friends every day. We are always smiling and happy. Where our work just seems like play. Welcome to our unit.